Welcome guys, we just finished looking at the nail biter half a point game. This was very close, and this time right now we have also a very big nail biter game, except it's gonna be a lot more ups and downs. This one is gonna have a lot of dead groups, potentially dead groups, and large territory swings and so on. So today we are bringing you board 2. This is the top dog of the North American professionals, Ryan Lee, versus the 9P from Taiwan, Zhao, the most famous streamer or video maker on YouTube. He makes a lot of YouTube videos on Go teachings, and he is also very active in the professional stage at 9P. So Ryan plays a relatively territory-full opening. Here it is totally valid to play the higher move with this C14 position for black here. Because this move puts a little more pressure on white ends up just playing the regular extension. Otherwise white could always play that corner defense, sort of trying to get two in one, kind of the corner Joseki and the side Joseki 2-in-1 move. So right now we have a speedy white versus a very solid and territorial black for now, and this is, believe it or not, totally okay Joseki. This press is also AI approved with a position on the left. So at this moment, white decides to Atari here. I think this is basically forced. Otherwise, white would have had to play this variation. This is also okay, but this black is on the first line, so it can't be that good for black. But black gets Sente and is able to take away a lot of territory from white. So this is a very modern Joseki, and clearly both players are well versed in the Go theory here. Right now, Zhao decides to go cash in a little bit of this, cash in on a little bit of territory against black in this manner, and does not want to fall very far behind on territory, hence the T3 move. By the way, this was also a highly anticipated matchup. Everyone wants to see how the best in NA, best pro in North America will fare against one of the top players in the world. Okay, so black invades here. If white goes for the traditional outside influence versus territory approach, this would be not too bad, but this would be black regaining all that territory and making white attack on the way to do things. So white blocks, and this is a common follow-up, and this move is a very interesting attack that is strengthening the weakest of the attacking sides. So perfect Go theory, and we'll see how black is able to do to operate on the bottom here. Black responds, and white plays these moves and goes for the punishment on the left hand side directly. So fireworks immediately from the start. This is what we promised you, and this is what we have. I have to say, Ryan, this invasion very early is very theoretically sound. Again, remember, I think relatively speaking, we have a very good chance of, we have a better chance of letting the 9P attack us rather than going out for an all-out attack against the 9P. So this peep is acknowledging that some kind of a ko is unavoidable now, and so white peeps first while the liberties are still plenty, because later on white would not be able to peep. In the game, this is a ko in the corner, and this is slightly favorable for white, because black has to throw in, and even if white loses a ko, black has the territory already anyways, and white can look forward to some very good ko threats. Now here now this is very favorable for white now, because black has played several super losing ko threats. Black ataried on the inside, started this ko, so white spends one more move on the right hand lower right corner and reaches a triple panuki shape. And this is much better. This is much better than whatever white could have gotten with one move, and this is why white has a 10-point lead in the game at this moment. However, black also made a lot of thickness in addition to the territory with the left-hand side, stones on the way to winning the ko. That's why it's only 10 points and not something greater. But anyways, in any case, white has a significant advantage at this point, and we can tell by the fact that black continues to connect these moves. This is very, very heavy, and black is doing this because black needs to come back in the game through some counterattacks against any white position. I'm sure if Zhao, he knew that he's up 11 points significantly, he may have chosen this tiger mouse to be more safe, but in the game white chose this one. Still totally fine, and yeah, by the way, a lot of these moves were totally in theory. This one move at p2 is the only one that is a little bit problematic. If white continues to play on the outside, maybe with this move, black lives too comfortably, and that's why white plays here. You could imagine white totally tanukiing and expanding on the other ends of the board, but anyways, it's very hard to find the exact points to play. White plays here at p2. This is not that big, but this p2 move doesn't need to be protected anymore. So here, black, let's see if black is able to survive and make two eyes over here. In the game, black goes for this cut. It's just, it's a little desperate looking for black now. The extend out seemed to be my first instinct, and in the game, white played the extend sideways. I guess this is also okay. It's just, it feels a little bit troubling for me for white to play so close to the thickness on the right hand side, because white doesn't care if black is able to cut the white position. But anyways, white plays sideways here, and this opens white up to a very nasty counterattack in the direct form of this cut. I'm sure when white extended, white was thinking black was going to block and white was going to play on the outside. Everything is peachy. So here, Ryan in the nick of time decides to counterattack before making the bottom super strong yet. And of course, I think this is a bit of a surprise. This must have came as a bit of a surprise for white. Another move that's possible here is to extend sideways, but probably Atari and press. Really hard to come up with moves here. Anyways, here black was able to play this cut, which was, it looks very desperate, but super strong if you looked closer. So the following moves were all reasonable moves, and because white also doesn't have that many liberties, and also remember before when black cut at m7, white extended to the right at o7. This didn't affect the middle as much, so as a result, this middle fight is a lot more uncertain than before. It's a bit shocking to see this block, and I really wonder if this was a bit. Yes, this was not. The game move was Atari. Yes. Right. So Atari, black has to save the stones, and then black counterattacks and runs that stone out. Here though, White was able to regain some form of this of the lead again. However, when Black plays this move, I think White, it's very hard to pinpoint exactly. I'm not able to find the AI moves. But right now White has an opportunity to really re-stabilize the game. Maybe the move is to just push and capture one stone. Push and capture one stone. This way, Black may have had to do something special tactics wise, like this move, and then allow Black to capture the one stone and then move on. In the game, what White did was this connect. This is a killing move. Usually you only do this when you're sure that you can capture the group. I'm sure during the game, Zhao, he went for this after lots and lots of calculations, but this opened up White for some very good counterattacks by Black, and very strong fighting. And here actually Ryan was able to, through the super nice counterattack, come into the lead in the game. In fact, right now Black is ahead by 29 points. 29 points. White is gonna die on the left, and there was a broadcast stream with the US Go web stream, and I think for this round, round 5, morning of Friday, I think they had Stephanie, which she is married to Ryan. So needless to say, that was very nerve-wracking for the commentaries as well. So it must have been super exciting to see Ryan is up by 40 points. The left should die, but we don't know exactly how it's gonna die or not die. So White plays here. Maybe the turn was it. I'm not sure. Turn is 32, so that was probably it. The block here was 33. This could also work. In the game, Ryan played the Atari, and this immediately made the game a lot more closer. And when Black played here, it's now again very, very tight. The next few moves was Black destroying the ice space against White, and White ends up going for this move. This was this move. So now the two groups are really head to head, trying to outdo each other on the liberties. White ends up playing this desperation ko here. I believe what happens is Black is able to block if White doesn't do this, and then Black is able to totally live. The capture is Sente for this eye, so Black is able to totally live, and then so this would be captured, and this would be here, and then White would not be able to live and survive on the left. So this would have been game over, Black by 52. So that's why White had to play this very desperate looking ko to salvage whatever White could do. I'm sure White right now has used all his time. I know that White has used almost all of his time. It's close, the clock has ticked down, and it's just really trying to hold on with this ko. And in this moment, Black played this connect. You could imagine other moves, but connect is certainly fine. When White connects, Black fights the ko again, and ko thread here. And right now Black has a very, very favorable position again. Black by 27. And when the kos were continuing to be fought, that jump out, was that a good ko thread? Anyway, this is a lot of swings up and down all over the place. The cut was not as good, so they're still fighting this ko. At this moment, this move, this attach is a ko threat. The Hane would capture 3 stones, and it was at this moment when Black is ahead by like 24 points. Ryan played here, and white plays here. Still okay, and more ko was being fought, and at this moment, still fighting ko. White connects, and black connected the ko. I'm sure black needed to connect here, but white has a lot of ko threats with that cut. With this cut, black has some ko threats like this. What I really wonder is what would the position be if black simply played something reasonable, and then had white play here, and then had black play something like this. Maybe not from the outside, maybe some move like this. This would have been totally even. Very, very interesting. So here there was a secondary move here. When m1, it may have been better at the turn if this could make black totally alive, and just very not sure about that. This way for sure would have allowed black to have a lot of liberties, and so that was another way that black could have maybe been able to do this with this move. So now here black has a lot of liberties. Hard to tell, but yeah, black would have won the fight in this liberty battle. So when black plays here, white is likely to play this one too, and then this would be potentially a better ko. Unfortunately for black, this was just white just totally held on with all the kos, and black had enough and connected the ko. After this move, white actually, after surviving with this group, white actually totally brings it back, and white is back in the small lead again. Wow, this must have been really heartbreaking for Ryan, and nerve-wracking to the commentators and everything. This very, very desperate ko was made, and it was white won the ko. This was what a pity this was. Lots and lots of different, may have been able to play lots and lots of different plays originally, but counting down at 20 seconds at a move, white really held on, and after living and destroying the top left corner, white is now back in the clear, and then starts on the march back into the game, and this threatening to take out the middle stones threatens either side. So of course the game is out of control for black for sure. For white, this was a very, very nice peep, and then when black played the safety move to capture the moves, white moved on to the rest of the board, and the rest of this was very, very nerve-wracking, highly contested, still very, very close, but it was white steadily built up a bigger and bigger lead into the end game. Namely, at this moment, when black went for the territory in the corner, maybe something like this would still be relatively even. White really moved down to the rest of the game. First desperation, ko, everything went wrong, survived, gave up another layer of stones to swing the game over to the part of the board, top right and the right hand side, where white has the advantage. And with this fighting advantage, white continued. This move was very, very nice shape. In this kind of shape, you sometimes, especially when this kind of ko shape happens, it's risky for white to Atari, because the next move black can cut. White doesn't want to connect. So in many instances, this extending move was like the move, and that's a perfectly normal good move. But in this case, it's also really damaging the Q13 stone, making that stone super inefficient. So here in this shape, white was able to find this super nice effective shape, and white is now winning this fight through more efficient, through higher efficiency. And later on, black swings over to attack the top. White takes a moment to tanuki and destroys the top right corner. At this point, Ryan was a little bit desperate, and then tries to destroy white territory, and ends up succeeding actually by making this group alive. But then the corner has died, and this fighting was just too good for white in terms of the relative thickness, and the corner died, and white captured the corner, captured some stones on the top, and white really cashed in on this superior. When the fighting took place where black had all the advantages, white held on and then survived, and then the game was very close. But when the fighting went over to white, to where white had the advantage, white was able to cash it in, mostly in the form of this shape. When black was too territory greedy, white took the chance to solidify and thicken all the white shapes. And even though black was able to destroy a lot of white territory in the end, just white was able to make a lot more than black was able to. And at the end, after this lower left ko, black only surrounded territory over here. Over here, this little bit, which was very early, white surrounded this big amount, and these are 10 points too. Even though black destroyed white's territory here, it was way too little. And what a nice game. Brian, 40 points up, 50 points up at some point, and was not able to totally do it. But what a pity, he came so close. At this point, connect 38. At this point, oh boy. Yeah, 38. We saw a 40-point lead. Oh my God. He's gonna lose a lot of sleep over this if he really, but very good to be able to play against the 9P and get a 40-point lead. I'm sure any of us, me and many others, would totally trade places with Ryan. Congratulations to Zhao for winning this one. He has only one loss, and he has a chance to take down the top player, the fellow 9P, who is undefeated. We saw in the previous game, and by holding on in this game, he really gives himself a chance to still contend for the championship. If he wins, and they would have a three-way tie, each one having beaten each other, and provided they don't lose to any of these other players. So congratulations, this game was super exciting. I'm sure this move, committing to the kill and then having the kill not work, this was exactly the situation I really wanted my games to go against the 9P. Sadly, it was in my game it was a sure kill, it was an easy kill. In this one, Ryan was able to really get white to play M5, commit to the kill, have a great counterattack. Unfortunately, the very, very crafty 9P was able to totally hold on with this ko, and despite having a good position, black just couldn't exactly knock white out. And unfortunately, not being able to knock white out, and then playing slightly soft, resolving the ko, ended up proving to be the difference maker here. Because possibly if black just continues to fight the ko, it feels like there's no more ko threats. White would have to play this one and then fight the ko, and then black could potentially play the double hane in ko threat, and then you can at least allow white to run the ladder out, right? Run the ladder out, and then this would be connect may not be a co-threat, but certainly capture is a co-threat, and play more moves on the outside. By losing more, by having more bad exchanges on the outside, maybe this would be, still a bit of a good, maybe black would still have a good position. Maybe Atari is at least one, and then if white Atari is here, this is all losing co-threats, and this all just makes this kind of position that much more, better for black. Yeah, so he couldn't push white over the edge. What a regret. Really would have liked to see NA players take down one of the 9-piece. Unfortunately, it didn't happen in this one. But what a great game! What an up and down game! What a perfect example of finding a way out in the for both sides. Black found a way to regain the lead, and then white found a way to hold on and survive. What a nice game! So now this is a double header day, and this was the morning game, 2 games. The morning round. We also had an evening round. Next, later, we're gonna look at the evening round, and what a great set of games. Really nice Masters League games. This was so good to have these games. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.